My name is Jerome Zeringue. I'm the Executive Director of the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority. Well, the talk today was to focus and provide information on what the state of Louisiana is doing to address the obvious issues that AGU is talking about throughout the whole conference. Risks associated with land loss, erosion, sea level rise, and as a coastal state, we obviously have those in many respects, but also the threats and vulnerabilities to our coastal communities and also the habitat, which is critical to maintain the resources that are not only important to the state of Louisiana, but to the nation. And so it's important to, at least from our perspective, let everyone know that Louisiana does have a plan to restore and rehabilitate our coast and have a sustainable coast for generations to come. And it was encouraging to hear the information from other panelists as well that support what we're doing, but also provide additional information and insight to ensure that we're successful. Well, Louisiana is essentially the canary in the coal mine because the issues that we're facing, subsidence, sea level rise, erosion, are issues that most other coasts are experiencing, but not to the degree and not to the extent that we are experiencing in such a short period of time. So we are probably the lab where we can develop solutions to a lot of the issues that other coastal communities will face. The unfortunate reality is we're losing coastal Louisiana. You've probably heard a football field every 38 minutes. We're losing that valuable resource, and we're going to have to do something and recreate or reconnect to the river or the hydrology that built that system to sustain it and rehabilitate it. It's been said, you know, fail to plan, plan to fail, and what we've undertaken is developing a master plan and how we intend to develop a sustainable coastal Louisiana with two primary decision drivers, which is reducing risk and also building land. So we are looking at working with the stakeholders, user groups, the communities, the people who are being affected by the loss of coastal Louisiana, and developing that long-term sustainable plan. It's a dynamic system. It's going to take a dynamic solution and one that we can adaptively manage to protect the communities and ensure their sustainability and also rehabilitate and sustain the valuable resource of coastal Louisiana. We have to recognize that there are risks and vulnerabilities in living in the coast. There are great benefits in living in the coast, apart from providing the resources to the nation. But there are those vulnerabilities and there are those risks, and we have to be honest and confront those risks and ensure that we don't encourage or expose people to risk. We minimize the risk as best we can, recognizing that we can't protect everyone, from everything. And there will continue to be risk and increased vulnerabilities as we lose our coast. So it's critical that as we work on restoring and sustaining our coast, we build those coastal communities, either through non-structural or structural methods to protect them, but also working to rebuild the habitat, the coastal areas land mass that not only provide the habitat for the resources, but also are critical to attenuating that storm surge and also further protecting the communities. Ever since they've built the levees on the Mississippi River, completely changed the hydrology of the system, we've been on this precipitous drop of loss of coastal Louisiana. With the plan that we've identified and hopefully will implement, we can reverse that trend to where we're not measuring the loss of coastal Louisiana by a football field every 30 minutes. We're measuring how much land we're actually building and how the coastal communities are resilient and better protected from the vulnerabilities. So we have a plan and we have the ability to implement it, but like everything else, it's fiscally constrained. But if we had the money, we can implement it. We want to make sure that the decisions that we make are scientifically based and technically sound to ensure that sustainability. I mean, we've implemented projects. We know we can do these projects, but we want to make sure that they're scientifically based, that they can be sustainable for a long term. And that's what's critical. We just not building it for the sake of building it. We want to make sure that what we build is the best utilization of the resources that we have to protect our coast.